Yo, Keith, Hudson, what's up, guys? It's Robbie here. So looking forward to the next Sixers game, I think on Wednesday. It's actually like being a statement game, obviously. I didn't even realize it's actually the tiebreaker game for the Nets, since I know we only played them like 3 times this year in the shortened season. My question really is like, how important do you guys think the first seed is for the Nets? Because if you guys like do think it's important, it may turn out to be basically the biggest game left in the regular season for them. And you know, people always talk about like playing the Bucks in the second round and how that could possibly be bad. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that. Let's go. Let's hope Kyrie gets back soon. And yeah, let's go Nets.
Kyrie was back, though.
Kyrie was back. Game 55 of 72. The Nets lose to the Sixers in Philly, 123 to 117.
But has a loss ever tasted more like a win? Oh, my goodness.
That was the favorite loss I think I've ever taken as a fan watching any sports, period, any team. And
it was crazy.
It didn't feel like a loss. So to answer your question, talking about the 1 seed, going into this game, there was a lot of conversation on Nets Twitter about, if this is a back-to-back now, right? The Timberwolves game got moved. So now this becomes a back-to-back. KD played 27 minutes in that Timberwolves game, so we're punting the Sixers game. We can't punt the Sixers game. It's against the number 1 seed and the tiebreaker, and that's the Sixers. Well, the Nets organization decided that it wasn't that important, that we're going to rest KD. We're going to rest LaMarcus Aldridge because he's about to retire. Blake Griffin, the knees look good, bro, but you can chill too.
No Chris Chiozza.
Chris Chiozza just broke his hand. He's done for the season. And people laugh at us when we mention Tyler Johnson not playing as if, like, Tyler Johnson doesn't count. Tyler Johnson is a serviceable NBA player that plays for your Brooklyn Nets. We didn't have most of our guys. James Harden. I don't know if y'all can see my shirt.
I know they can see mine, though.
Yeah, they can see both now. We didn't have those guys. We rolled out there into, right? Okay, so we were 1-1 going into that game last night. We knew what it was, okay? The Nets are not afraid of anyone. Our world, Nets world. We went into that game like, we're going to punt this game, and if Kyrie goes off and somehow we steal this game, we steal this game. But we're not worried about the 1 seed. We weren't worried about a tiebreaker. Hudson, what were your thoughts when you saw KD, right? Because Malika Andrews reported that KD was going to sleep on it, wake up the next morning and see how he felt. But really, we knew that it was the Nets' decision. We knew that it was going to be the trainers, the medical staff's decision. And we've heard about his ramp up and, him having these high-intensity workouts, and we pretty much knew that he wasn't going to play back-to-back nights. So some fans looked at it as a punt game. I looked at it as a punt game. I even wrote a tweet to the Nets about, like, let's roll the dogs out and send a message. We did send a message last night. What were you thinking going into that game?
I mean, first off, the thing I was thinking was, yeah, it's a tiebreaker game, but it's April 15th. That's game 55 of 72. The Nets and Sixers are in all likelihood not going to go into the last game of the NBA season, the regular season, tied. They're not going to rely on this tiebreaker. I mean, stranger things have happened, but let's be honest, there's a lot of games left for both teams. Things are going to happen. But honestly, what we did was we embarrassed the Sixers. We went out and we showed, first off, Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, you got nothing. Absolutely nothing on Kyrie. Kyrie came into that game and just absolutely cooked him 37 points in 3 quarters. And then when the Nets were down, the Nets were losing by 20, he sits the rest of the 4th quarter, just having himself a rest, talking it up with Harden and KD on the bench. And then Keith, what happened? The Nets roll out the C team. They run out the Stay Ready group. And we love them.
Not even the Bubble Nets anymore.
Not even
What's
the Bubble
name?
Nets.
What do we call? We're going to come up with a name for
they're
the end of.
That's what they call themselves, the Stay Ready group.
Okay, the Stay Ready group.
That's what they call themselves.
They
when
already
they're
named
practicing.
themselves. Stay Ready.
Stay
ready so you ain't got to get ready.
We went and ran them out. First off, Landry Shamet running the point. Matisse Thybulle, Ben Simmons couldn't even stop him. He was cooking against his former team. And we came back. The Sixers, who left their starters in, couldn't score on Jeff Green or our guy, Alize Johnson, the Keith McPherson
the Moet,
look-alike.
the Alize. I love that guy.
Ian Eagle on the call, I think it was for one of his dunks late in the game. He goes, Alize, passion. And Richard Jefferson damn near ran out of the studio. That was hilarious. I love what I saw from them. Obviously, they came back. They made it a 3-point game. They end up losing on some free throws, but they put Ben Simmons back in the game. They put MVP Joel Embiid back in the game. And they had nothing. They had nothing for your Brooklyn Nets C team. And I, for one, took to Twitter to let some people know that they had nothing for your Brooklyn Nets C team. And we had so many Sixers fans. We had Knicks fans coming in just for the fun to say, oh, but you guys can't stop Embiid. Okay. Let's say Embiid goes out in the playoffs and drops 60 every game. First off, he didn't. If you're getting locked up by DeAndre Jordan holding him to less than 50% from the field and only making your money at free throws.
He was 6 of 15.
Keith,
first quarter, DJ kind of impressed me first quarter.
He did. We got to give him credit. But what I was saying was, like, the Nets have so many good players. They have all of these scores, all of these weapons. If you can't stop Kyrie when he is the only superstar offensive threat on the floor, if you have two players that you consider to be first-team All-NBA defense, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate on the floor, and you cannot stop Kyrie Irving from putting up 37 points in 3 quarters on phenomenal shooting, 75% plus shooting throughout the game. He was making easy money all up and down the court. He was hitting threes. He had that little spin move at the elbow. It was amazing. But then guess what, Keith? You add James Harden, who, by the way, leads the NBA in assists.
The bearded one.
Is a top 2 MVP candidate, but we know he's the MVP. And then, by the way, Kevin Durant, who just the night before dropped 31 points in 27 minutes. Keith, did they legitimately think, like,
No.
I know there's no Nets or no Sixers fans listening to this podcast.
No, they're
Do
still
you guys
processing.
actually think that Joel Embiid is going to be enough? Because why would he be enough? If the Nets C team was like one bounce away from being enough, how is he going to be enough against Kevin Durant, James Harden? Shoot, Blake Griffin wasn't there for that game. Who knows? Maybe Spencer Dinwiddie's going to be back. Who knows? But it was certainly some clownish behavior by Sixers fans, and I left that game feeling phenomenal, just like the Nets did, and just like KD did when he was talking in Embiid's face.
You love to see it.